Starting the meeting.
Good evening, Toastmasters and all the dear guests. Welcome. Good, yeah, that's a bit. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
That's great. I am Energy, please. So, welcome to Toastmasters. Many of you are attending your first meetings here as a guest, and some of them as members, because most of you have not attended like an offline meeting in Toastmasters Amrita Bangalore. I'm Toastmaster Sanidhya, and I'll be the sergeant at arms for today. So, in Toastmasters Amrita Bangalore, we have three golden rules that we have during the meeting. Number one, please do not speak about sensitive topics like politics, sex, religion, caste, etc. If you do so, please keep them in a manner that it does not offend anyone. Rule number two, please keep your noise making devices on silent mode. I give you 5 seconds to do that. 5, 4, yeah, 3, 2. That's it. Rule number 3, please try not to leave the room while the meeting is going on. If you feel to do so, try leaving the room when an applause is going on after a speaker has finished their speech. To add on, I suppose we would not like to disturb our speakers because everyone has put a lot of hard effort to give this time. So why not keep all the speech evaluations? Now we have meeting number 209 today. And the theme of today's meeting is Bated Breath by Toastmaster Viraj. So I think we all must have been, we all have faced situations where we've been like in full fear, say awaiting a result or say preparing for a situation, and the sense of nervousness and fear, we all have went through that, aren't we? Right?
Yes.
So I think we should get the meeting going. I'll hand over the mic to the presiding officer. Over to Toastmaster Jasita.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Yes. Yes. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Toastmasters Amrita Bangalore. As a treasurer come sergeant at arms for today, Toastmaster Sanidhya said, many of you are guests here, and today is your first offline meeting as well. How many of you are really new to all this experience? Or okay, hi. And how many of you are from the house?
The open is on that in when
Yeah, but even that happened. Well, I hope everyone liked the event so I can see a lot of audience in here. Thank you. Well, I am to introduce myself. I'm a third year AIE student. I'm Jasmita Gomisetti. And not much to introduce myself. If you join this club, you'll know a lot about. Okay, I'm being narcissist. Well, I'm the president of Toastmasters Amrita Bangalore, and I'm the presiding officer for today's meeting. Today's meeting is meeting number 209. Deal with the bated breath. Do you know what bated breath means? Anyone?
Yes, anxious.
what is the question again?
Do you know what bated breath means? Bated with bated breath. Okay, let us go with all that in the today's meeting. First, let us declare the meeting host. I declare meeting number 209 themes with the bated breath open. From the open house, do you have a little idea about what Toastmaster meeting is? Yes? What do we do here? Yes? Yes, you.
Promote leadership
Okay.
skills and social skills.
Okay.
Aid people who are nervous to speak out.
Yes, mostly that and many more. Yes, thank you. Thank you for your reply. I really appreciate it. Okay. Let me read the club mission. In Toastmasters, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which the members are empowered to develop their communication skills and leadership skills, resulting in greater personal growth and self-confidence. The words here and there, most probably you'll be thinking right now that I mugged it up, and you're thinking that I have mugged it up. It's fine. Well, that is about the club mission. In Toastmasters, as many of you are really guessing here, little overview of our Toastmasters Club. Toastmasters International is is a non-profit educational organization. Its headquarters is in America. It was started long, long ago by Ramsey Smith. He's the father of Toastmasters. And our current membership of the club is 47. We are a paid club. And if you after the whole meeting is done, I'm not saying you to join right now, just contact our weekly membership, attend a few meetings, actually attend the whole list. Then you can decide for yourself, is this club for you? Because for us, every one of you is for us. We mean that and we feel that. So attend a lot of meetings and you can go. With a bated breath. Again, raise of the hands who have Googled it or know it. Yeah, what is a bated breath?
Which training to be?
Okay. Well, a bated breath is sometimes when you feel a lot of anxiousness surrounding. Maybe when you are going for an exam or maybe you see something horrific, just take a lot of gasps, right? That's called bated breath. With a bated breath means that. And for me, how many of you have written JEE over it? Lots of engineers. Great. So I remember my first JEE attempt. Okay. I was there. There was a portal. Remember, they take your picture and the picture is displayed on your computer screen. Right? I was already very anxious. What is going to happen? What's going to come on the paper? And I just gave my picture. I sat, and the screen just opens. It just flashes. And I saw my own picture and I got sweaty. I must say that it was worse than Aadhaar card picture. I should give that compliment to the person and the camera as well. So Shivansh is telling something. Okay. Well, that was my experience with bated breath. Sometimes you have bad experiences. You grow out of it. There are a lot of experiences, and today I'm a Toastmaster of the day. In Toastmasters, we have a theme for everything. Every meeting has a theme, and today's meeting, our TM Toastmaster Viraj, who is also a relatively very new member. He joined a month ago. So, as a lot of you are guests here, don't know much. You can have an experience here. Okay. Let me make a little more sense. In Toastmaster, the first speech that you give is your icebreaker. Okay. Icebreaker is the first speech that you give. And today we have 5 speakers who have joined very recently giving their speech. So you'll understand the first 6 speakers giving icebreaker. Okay. So you'll understand once you start your journey in this club, what is going to happen. Okay. To introduce TMOD Viraj, I introduce you. Before introducing Toastmaster Viraj, usually if we have guests, we kind of ask them to come onto the stage, speak for a minute or two. But there are a lot of guests right now, so anyone want to volunteer coming onto the stage? Maybe a little introduction of yourself.
Myself, Adarsh. I'm a Bangalorean. I stayed 18 years in Bangalore now. I studied in Global City International School in the area of CV Nagar, and I got in here through JEE. I joined Amrita Bangalore because of my love for electronics and communication, and also because I had no idea about computer science work. Which is one of the reasons why I didn't take computer science in 11th standard. Other than that, I made a couple of friends. The seniors over here are really inclusive. They encourage us to take part in everything. And I would like to thank every senior, those who are here and not here, for making us feel at home. Thank you. Hi, I'm Viraj, and I came from Hyderabad. But basically, I'm from Goa, like a fun place to live in. And then I started like Delhi and then moved to Hyderabad. Well, I didn't have the like traditional path because I was an IB. Do you guys even know IB? IB curriculum. So yeah, it's a curriculum that's very different from CBC, right? We're not taught to like mug up or something and study like before the exams or something. But yeah, that's like my basic history, and I'm into entrepreneurship. So 2 years ago, I started my own non-profit edtech firm it's called BFund, and we provide financial literacy courses to like urban women. And also, we recently partnered with this firm that was started like in Bangalore. It's called Zerodha, if you remember, like a stockbroking firm. And apart from that, I'm into philosophy. So I read books with let's say I read most right now. I'm studying about Hegel's philosophy, and I'm also into Stoicism. So if anyone to link me up, if you're also into philosophy, then yeah, we could like have a really good conversation, like coffee shop or something. And has anyone heard of this meditation thing called Vipassana? Anyone know anything called Vipassana? It's a like around a few days ago, before joining Amrita, I had this crazy experience where I joined like a camp, like a free camp, 21 days camp, where there's this guru and he teaches you this amazing meditation technique that sort of helps you like calm down and just helps you reflect a lot about your past traumas, etc. And yeah, that's all about me. Hit me up if you want to know more about philosophy or like our industrial startup culture. Thank you.
That which asked for a coffee and even told about a camp at the same time. Thank you, Viraj. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful meeting. Anyone else? Yes. Go.
Hello everybody. Hello everybody. I'm Abhay. I'm from RA Group, Robotics and Artificial Intelligence. Basically, I'm from Hyderabad. I was born in Hyderabad, and then I went to Bangalore for 1 month, and then I went to America for 6 years, and then I came back to Bangalore, and then I came back to Hyderabad, and then I'm now in Bangalore. Basically, I don't know much about myself. I'm trying to find out who I am, and I'm a little bit confused every time. Like, I don't know what I'm doing exactly. I don't know why I'm on stage right now. I just, but like, I'm really excited to speak on stage. So I just came on the stage. You know, I had fears about coming on the stage, but it's not so like how they say it's very fearful when you after once you come onto the stage, it's just like a stage, like it's just like a place where you stand. So it doesn't make a much difference. It's just like you standing on your feet at the edge of your classroom, but just you're standing at the front. So that's all I have to say. So thank you. It was a pleasure.
Wanted to join Toastmasters right in my first year, but somehow it was something that I delayed so much. But I'm finally here, and if I have to introduce about myself, I was born in Trichy, Tamil Nadu, but I moved to Bangalore when I was 3 months old. So since then, I've been here. All my education was here at National Center for Excellence, Bangalore, and I don't even know how I ended up in Amrita. Like it was the last thing that I expected, or something that I didn't even expect. But initially, when I came here, I didn't like the place at all. I didn't find anyone who really matched my vibe. But especially for the first years, if you guys relate to me and if you felt the same, just like how I did, I feel like it's no more of a deal. Once you get into your second year, you find your friends and you'll be fine. And coming to Toastmasters, I don't, since my childhood, I was actually very much interested in public speaking. And even in my school days, I was actively participating in multiple more event conferences. So once I came to college, I really wanted to continue the same. And I found Toastmasters to be a very exciting platform where I could even learn and interact with different people. So I'm looking forward to learn a lot and interact with all of you. Thank you.
Within Toastmasters, when I started joined here as a guest, I really didn't want to speak at all. The back president, Toastmaster Dinesh, he just dragged me onto the stage and he made me speak. I hated him for a long time. Well, I'll just call all your names. Please feel welcome. I need to be hospitable to all of you. Suha, Dhanashri, Likita. Okay. Welcome, Yashashwini. Welcome, Sri Vaishnavi. Abhay, Aditya, Adarsh, Anirudh, Vijayendra, Sebastian, Sri Raghav, Harish, Shankar.
By the way,
Yeah.
I didn't catch your name.
I am Toastmaster Jaswita.
Tasmita.
Jaswita.
Tasmita.
Jaswita.
It's my time.
Viraj Reddy, Likit Sai, Pranav Nair. Where is Pranav Nair? Hi, Pranav. Well, Rishindra, Ajay, Gogol, Jia, Sanskar, Vamshi, Manasa, Grishmat, Abhi Satvika, Afreen Razia, Swarna Smita, Mahika, Yashashri, Mansi, Pushkar, Ananya, Banashri, Yashashwini, Joshita, Satvika, Shobita, Shishira, Bindu Manasa, Reha, Rishita, Viraj, Vamshi, Rakshin, and Tarun. If I have missed anyone, you can tell me during the break, I'll tell this better. And I'm really happy to have you all here. Okay. I've taken a lot of Toastmaster Viraj's time. Let me introduce him. He says that he tries to stop his legs from shaking during speeches, but somehow they're inevitable. Despite Toastmaster Viraj, I was also shaking before the open house. I feel that how big of a speaker you are, you still feel those butterflies in your stomach. It's normal. By speaking a lot, you gain a lot of confidence. Toastmaster Viraj.
Hey, thank you for that warm welcome. I am, as she said, Viraj Dole, and I'm going to guide you through this meeting. So, I would like to first introduce the audience to the Toastmasters organization. Toastmasters International is a non-profit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills through a worldwide network of clubs. I would take this opportunity to give encomium to Sir Ralph C. Smedley, who started this organization on 22nd October 1924. Because of his initial efforts, today Toastmasters has been going great guns with more than 280,000 members in more than 14,700 clubs in 144 countries. It has helped people reduce their bated breath situation from stage fear and public speaking and to become more confident speakers, communicators, and leaders. So, talking about the theme, bated breath. So, as Jaswita had said something, do you get a clear idea about what it is exactly? Do you have any idea? If anyone has, raise the hand. One or two, right? So I'll explain it. Don't worry. I'm here for that only. As you guys can make some guesses, the theme is about the situation you are in which you are too anxious or excited to have anticipated over a result that is about to come. Let me take an example. Remember the days when you were in vacation after your 10th boards? How good it was. Everything was going good, perfect. You were in a happy mood, and suddenly you come to know that your results are out. Oh my God. You are so tense at that moment, aren't you? Like I'm right now on stage. So at that moment, might start running through multiple thoughts that how much would I have got 70%, 80%? Will I even reach 90? My math exam didn't go well. Will that reduce my grades? And simultaneously, you're opening a laptop. You open the website and it shows server is busy. At this point of time, your heart is thinking, wondering, why am I beating so fast? What is happening? Somehow the site opens and you type down your registration number. Even after your utmost attention while typing the number, you delete it and type it again. Now the buffering starts. By the time you find yourself surrounded by your family members and all of you are waiting for the buffering to end. And then my speech ends. So at this point, what you guys are feeling is a situation in which you all are having bated breath. Thank you. I would now like to call upon our general evaluator or GE for the day, Nikhilesh. He likes to introduce himself as someone who prefers wooden benches over comfortable mattresses. Toastmaster Nikhilesh.
Thank you, Viraj. I am Toastmaster Nikhilesh, and I'll be the general evaluator for today. Talking about bated breath, I think when you say that you're shivering on stage, I think everyone feels that. There's nothing new or nothing. It's not something which you're the only one who feels. Every time we come up on stage, every time people are doing the L3 come on stage, all of us shiver. So there's nothing new. You come here, you get experience, and then slowly it stops. So anyway, so I'll be a general evaluator for today. I'll be finding out how the meeting is going on, pointing it out after the whole meeting is done, and making sure that each and everyone who comes up on the stage goes back with something and takes something which they can learn from and improve upon. And to do this, I have a team of my own. It's called the TAC team. So TAC team is timer, accountant, and Jamaican. First up, we'll have a timer, Toastmaster Ganesh. He says he's one of the new members of Toastmasters Amrita Bengaluru, and he's a proud one on that. Toastmaster Ganesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhilesh. So, greeting all the Toastmasters and the guests as well. So, as timer, I will time the formal speeches and the evaluations. As today we don't have any table topics, I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and the red cards, which will denote specific timings during their speeches. So, icebreaker speeches should be between 4 to 6 minutes in length. At 4 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 5 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. And at 6 minutes, I will raise the red card. Most other speeches should be around 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. 6 minutes, the yellow card. And 7 minutes, the red card. And individual evaluations should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, the green card, and 2 minutes, 30 seconds, yellow card, and 3 minutes, the red card. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ganesh. Next up, we have an accountant, Toastmaster Aryan. He says he's a textbook introvert and a typical overthinker. He's a huge fan of movies and TV shows and loves gaming. Toastmaster Aryan.
Hi everyone, I am the accounter for the meeting today. The purpose of accounter is to note the words and sounds used like crutch words or pause filler. During the meetings, I listen for overused words including and, when, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler words including and but. I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, this means, this means. At the end of the meeting, I'll report the number of times each speaker used these expressions. Thank you.
Next up, we have a grammarian for today, Toastmaster Nandan. He says he likes to be very sincere in whatever work he does. Toastmaster Nandan.
Well, thank you, Toastmaster Nikhilesh. Well, good evening to the fellow Toastmasters and guests. As grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. And as a grammarian, it's my duty to introduce the idiom of the day and the word of the day. Well, idiom of the day is going great guns. And meaning of the word is if you are going great guns, you are going really well in whatever you are doing. Well, for example, we can use the film industry has been going great guns recently. And today's word of the day is encomium. Well, meaning of the word is it refers to an expression of glowing and warmly enthusiastic praise. For example, we can use in the sentence, upon achieving EGOT status, the actor was deservedly showered with encomiums from across the entertainment world. Well, each speaker is encouraged to use the idiom of the day and word of the day in their speeches and interactions. And and I will give the grammarian's report when called upon during the meeting and also report on the usage of word of the day and idiom of the day. Well, thank you, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
You, Toastmaster London. That was my tag team, everyone. And this is your general evaluator. I'll be back with my report and my team's report when called upon by the TMOD. And all the best to everyone who's giving the icebreaker, and all the best to all the people who are giving the speech also. Have fun and enjoy. Toastmaster Viraj will begin.
So we'll be starting this meeting with the prepared speeches segment, in which the speakers have to come onto the stage and deliver the speech they have prepared. This will be followed by the speech evaluators report, and further on timer, counter, grammarian, and general evaluators report. Then I'll be handing over the mic to the presiding officer, Jaswata, before we conclude today. So let's start our meeting. Let's have a round of applause. The first speaker for the day is Toastmaster Shambhavi, who introduces herself as someone who likes embarking on new adventures with a bated breath, and her topic is speech. She will be evaluated by Toastmaster Nikhil. Jaswata, sorry. So I would like to call upon Jaswata, Toastmaster Jaswata.
Hello everyone, I'm Toastmaster Jaswata. I'd be the speech evaluator for Toastmaster Shambhavi. Well, everyone gives speeches, right? What is special about Toastmasters? It is the evaluation segment. When you go onto the stage, you should know where you should be improving, where you can be better, and where you can become a better speaker. So that's where the whole general evaluator and the speech evaluator role comes into play. Every person will be having different pathways. You can choose your pathways. You'll be having different levels as well. And each level will be having different projects. Today, our Toastmaster Shambhavi is attempting her L1, L3 P1, level 3 P1 in the pathway presentation mastery. The purpose of her speech is the purpose of the project is for the member to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. So in her speech, she will be doing persuasive speaking, and she can choose to deliver a well-organized persuasive speech in any style. This would be her objectives for today's speech, and all the very best to her. Back to the TMO.
I'd like to call upon Speaker Shambhavi.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and prospective Toastmasters. Today, I'll be speaking to you about why you should join Toastmasters, and as a member, what are your expectations of Toastmasters? Because what better day to give this speech when the crowd is half filled with guests? So, all of us have experienced this feeling of standing on a platform with sweaty hands, trembling feet, and your tongue doing a tango in your mouth with your tonsils. All of us might have had this experience. And may I tell you,
This experience is not rare. 75% of people face a fear of public speaking. But fear not. For today, I bring to you the magic of Toastmasters. Imagine you have a certain opportunity knocking at your door. You are all set to walk into that limelight. However, your fear holds you back. That icy cold hands of fear clutch your heart, and you take a step back from doing what you wanted to do. In my opinion, there is no greater tragedy than the time when you have something you want to express, but you don't have the words to communicate that. But there's a solution. We at Toastmasters are a support group at its most fundamentalist. Here, you can come up to speak, to share your opinions, to conquer that fear, that anxiety with a bated breath. Here, you will be speaking up on the stage, express your ideas to a crowd of people just like you, and you will be given constructive criticisms about your performance. No one here judges you on how you're performing. Everyone is here to help you grow more. Think of the next time you go on stage, but you're with a bated breath. But this time, it's your heart completely excited to deliver your ideas to a crowd. Think of the time when you will speak up at meetings, when you will be in the limelight. Think of when you'll give toasts at occasions. Toasts so great that it will bring tissues to tears. And it's not just the people who haven't joined. After you join, there's a certain phrase, a certain idiom in Japan that you start something with all enthusiasm, but you follow it only for 3 days. How many of you have done that? 3 hours. We have a special person here. For the members already in the club, think of slots, speed slots. People take up roles, people take up speed slots. But then I am the vice president education in the club. My task is to give people roles, give people speed slots, arrange the agendas for the meet. And at the last minutes or some days before the meet, I get calls. Shambhavi, I'm out of station now. I can't even. Shambhavi, I was with friends in front of a fountain now. I'll come after 5 minutes straight. Meeting you. Start after I come. It's all right. Once, twice, thrice. Don't make it a habit. Give your all. Schedule your speeches. Try your hand at speaking on the stage. Everyone is here, just like you, to hear you speak. Everyone has been in your shoes one or the other time. And as you give your speeches, as you talk to people, as you network, the joy in you keeps on growing. You have that confidence that yes, I have fought my anxiety. I have talked on this platform, and yes, I can go talk to people. Taking an example from just a week ago in my life, and something that all of us might encounter. When you go searching for jobs, take for example, you go look for a job at Google. If your resume is shortlisted, before going for the interview, you'll have a telephonic call. Your recruiter might schedule it at any time. It could be a video conferencing call or a call on phone, and it will be given on a very short notice. What do you do then? Try to keep stalling it? No. You go, give your all for that particular time. And how will that habit come up? After you do it again and again and again. So I urge you, think of Toastmasters not as a public speaking platform or a self-help day. Think of it as a place where you can harness your power, where you can voice out your emotions, your ideas. I hope to see you all as a part of our next meeting and members giving your speeches next. That would be all from my side and over to the
That was quite motivational. Why should we join Toastmasters? So now I would talk about Toastmaster Daksh. He describes himself by saying that if life is soup, he is the poet. Speech title is Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. He's going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Sanidhya. Sanidhya, he has 6 names in his hit list, with 1 name on utmost priority. I would like to call upon Toastmaster Sanidhya.
Greetings again, everyone. So I'm back. And my special greetings to my target speaker, Toastmaster Raj, who is also our club secretary. And we all know he's a great speaker, but his icebreaker was much awaited. So Toastmaster Raj will be giving his L1 P1 in the pathway of presentation mastery. The objectives of his speech are for himself to introduce himself to the club, though we already know him, but still to introduce himself to the club and to understand a basic form of public speaking. All the best, Toastmaster Daksh. We all have been waiting for this moment. I'll be evaluating you on the basis of your objectives, and I'll be back with my evaluation when called upon by the general evaluator towards the end of the meeting. Over to Toastmaster Daksh. All the very best. No, first over to Tier Modi. And yeah, I will to I know please don't represent icebreaker speech, so the time limit for this will be 4 to 6 minutes, with green card on 4 minutes and yellow card on 5 minutes and the red card on 6. Go to deep. So, Master Daksh. Master Daksh. Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, Toastmaster Daksh.
How many of you have heard the quote, life is like a roller coaster? Almost everyone, right? People keep saying that. Here's another one. Life is a race. अगर तेज नहीं दौड़ोगे तो कोई कुचल के आगे चला जाएगा. English translation, life is like a race. If you don't run fast enough, someone will stop you and go. This is a quote from 3 Idiots. People would have watched that, I'm pretty sure. If you haven't, then please go watch the movie, it's really good. What do you learn from this movie? The very important thing that you learn is that if you're in an Indian household, one thing that you're subject to is the moment you're born, mera beta engineer banega. And I was no different. I was born in Dehradun, Uttarakhand. It's quite north of from here. It's bordering Nepal actually. So I'm the oldest child in my household, but in my family, I am actually one of the younger kids. So by the time I was learning how to stand up and even talk when I was 2 years old, I already had cousins who were, planning to starting to work, who were going to college. And my family members were like, you know what, this guy, he may be young now, but he has to surpass all of them. Forget IIT, direct MIT only. Forget Moon, Mars, Jupiter, everything. He has to go there only. Nobody asked me what I want to do because obviously I could not even speak that time. I spent most of my life, my childhood life, in Dehradun and also Delhi. They are like only a 4 hours drive away. And I actually came to Bangalore when I was 4 years old. Before actually coming back to Bangalore, in December 2004, when I actually came here for the first time, just for a visit, here's a fun fact for you people. India actually witnessed the worst tsunami it has ever seen in its history. It hit the entire southern India and the effects of it reached all the way to Bangalore also. And that was when I was here for the first time. So I'm not sure if that was nature trying to give me some sort of sign, but if it was, I didn't take it. Or rather, my parents didn't take it because again, I could not speak. Now, when I talk about Dehradun, the first thing that people come to, like, people think, acha, hill station, cold, snowy, skiing I'll do. But you're forgetting that it's also close to Delhi, and during summers, it's the complete hell. So for people who are from Delhi or people who have experienced the Delhi heat, they will already start sweating about what I'm going to say now. But for people who haven't, let me just give you a quick example of what living in Delhi and Dehradun during summers is like. Normally, during lunch or dinner, if you're sitting in your room, your mother's gonna come to you or your dad is gonna come to you and they're gonna say, boss, food is ready. Please come and eat. Don't eat cold food. You'll bad for your health. Please, while it's hot, come and eat. In Dehradun, it's something like this. I'm sitting at my home. I'm sitting in my room, peacefully chilling. My mother comes with a glass of cold coffee. She sits down and she says, "Abhe jaldi pila wala ubal jayega." English translation: if you don't drink fast, it'll start boiling off. So just quickly drink it. If I come back to my roller coaster, the first phase of my life, the young phase, was basically the beginning part when you start, you're sitting in the cart and you slowly start moving and it starts inclining upwards. And now, what part have we reached? The steep part, where we start going up, the second phase, and that was my teenage life. Most of my teenage and pretty much all of it was spent in Bangalore only. I stopped visiting Dehradun. I didn't have much time to go, and I spent a lot of time with my friends. That was my puberty wala phase. Now, puberty hits hard for everyone, and the worst part is that it hits everyone at different times. So we don't know, when one person has matured, when a person has not matured. We don't even know who we are looking at. So by the time I was in 10th, the people who I knew were very different from who they initially were. And even my parents, they treated me much differently. So this was the phase of my life where I actually, made new experiences. This was when I thought I was getting mature. I thought I was like, doing something good. I made new friends. I met so many new people. And we did so many great things. Some of my friends are still here actually from 11th and 12th. The group that we made, it was going great guns. It was something that I'm really proud of. And then, of course, this was also the time when I discovered that girls exist. Now I'm touching parts that people are very interested to hear about. My first relationship in 10th, it was very interesting, It was quite something. It was a very interesting experience. I made mistakes. I learned from those mistakes. And then in my second relationship, I made the same mistake again. But this time, you know what? I made it better. Because life is all about learning from what you have done. See, whether you learn it, whether you learn from bad experiences, you learn from good experience, learning is learning. And then I went on to do this 2 more times. Except the fourth and the most recent one was not just a mistake, it was calamity. And with that, speaking of calamity, we have reached the top of the roller coaster, the end of the second phase. What comes now in the roller coaster? The drop. The past 1 year of my life, it's been like this. The food that I used to eat so much, I loved so much, it was not tasty anymore. Things that I used to do for fun, they were not fun anymore. And most importantly, the people I knew, the people who I thought I knew, they weren't who they were, or at least I didn't think who they were. The last 1 year was quite an experience for me. And that was when I actually found Toastmaster through a friend. I'm not going to mention that friend. In this club, I've met people who have quite literally changed the past 1 year of my life. They have been so supportive. They have been great friends. They have been great mentors. They have been great brothers and sisters. They try to be good colleagues, but they are not. My life in Toastmaster has been really interesting. And it's thanks to these people that I've really tried making the best of my situation here. And as I continue my fall in the roller coaster, I would like to say that regardless of how you are feeling now or what you have been feeling lately, things can be difficult, but we don't see things the way they actually are. We see them the way we are. So let's choose a better side of life. And with that, back to the TMOD Toastmaster Viraj.
That was quite mesmerizing, I must say. By the way, give us a standing applause for Toastmaster Dutch. Thank you guys for being so supportive. So, the speech was quite mesmerizing. I for a minute thought that I had some role to do. So, now I call upon Toastmaster Angelina. She enjoys exploring all elements of creativity since has had a variety of hobbies, including singing, freehand sketching, imitating animal sounds, reading, and gaming. In addition, her love for psychology and creative writing has shaped her interest in learning more about how the human mind works. Her speech title is A Frog in a Well. Before that, calling upon her speech evaluator Toastmaster Ram. He is an introverted extrovert who has a craze for bikes and cars and has no clue why he is doing engineering. I call upon Toastmaster Ram.
Good afternoon, people. How are you? Yeah, good afternoon to my target speaker, Angelina. So she's doing her LLP1 in motivational strategies. The purpose of the speech is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of public speech. So all the best, Angelina. Hoping to see you on other sides for evaluation. Over to the TM Modi.
Toastmaster Angelina. A frog in a well. Frog in a well. Toastmaster Angelina.
I'm not stealing your job here. I know it looks like traffic signal lights, so. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. All your life is a journey to find your true self. This quote was given by Lady Kramer, who is a famous American author known for his work on reports from the Holocaust. With that being said, let me share with you the findings of myself. My name is Angela George. I'm a third-year student pursuing computer science and engineering in Amrita School of Computing, Bangalore. I come from a family of four comprising of myself, my mom, my dad, and my grandma. But due to it being kind of hectic, traveling back and forth every day for like 2 hours, so back and forth 2 hours would be like 4 hours every day. I have moved next to college in order to focus on my studies, and I wouldn't be so tired on whatever things I have to do much later on when I come back home. I've been born and brought up in Bangalore, and I have never gone out of India as such. I rarely go traveling, although I want to a lot. And one of the biggest specialties of Bangalore is Lal Bagh. It's a really beautiful botanical garden, which is home to 2,000 species of flowers. With that being said, let me get to the topic. A frog in a well. How many of you know what does it mean to be a frog in a well? Tell me, Manish.
Is to wonder about the world and not knowing what it is about. It's like a story.
Exactly. So it's metaphorically known to be a person who does not know much about what lies beyond their realm. According to him, if he looks up to the sky, it looks like a circle. He doesn't know what's there much beyond that. And I was kind of in that phase. I was an introvert, which is why I decided to join Toastmasters. Why? I was kind of probed by Jagdish and Aditya about it. Like you always say that you hide behind a tree when you come on offline, or maybe when you speak to people, you start shivering. You will not know what to say, when to say, you start stuttering. And yeah, it was always pretty tough for me to speak to people. But I've learned a lot once offline began. Here's my story. Since kindergarten, I used to be a little more mature than my peers. Why? I used to go for Bible study, which taught us about human values at a much earlier phase. So I kind of knew what are good things and what are bad things, and much earlier, much before many of my peers knew about it. And I figured that, okay, I should probably interact with people who I vibe well with, who knows and respects my values. I didn't find anyone like that. And oftentimes, since I was an introvert, I never spoke up for myself. I never defended myself, due to which I used to get bullied a lot. One time, a girl asked me to chew on an eraser. If not, she would beat me up. When she was not looking away, I spat it out, and well, thankfully, I didn't have to be rushed to the hospital. It was also a time for when I was trying to discover my true talents. I didn't know what I was good at. Many of them were like, oh, I know how to sing. I know how to draw. I know how to play video games much better than you. But what was I good at? My parents were like, you don't know how to draw. Every time you come outside the circle, you get a B or C grade for that. You don't know how to sing. Your voice is kind of coarse and harsh sometimes. That good in saying you're kind of average. You have to understand the world is becoming really competitive. What are you going to do? That's when I decided to focus on what my actual interests are. Third grade. A dog. And that was when I realized that I fell in love with animals and I wanted to spend more time with them. I also wanted to learn more about their behavior. So I used to spend more time with them. I learned how to mimic animal noises. But that didn't make me stand out, or I didn't feel so good about myself, even though I knew that. Why? Because everyone used to force me to do something. And I was not really sure, like, is it my identity? Everyone else is telling me what to do. When it comes to 12th grade, I was forced to write JE. I mean, at that time, I thought our elders know much better than us, as in what to do and what not to do. I pretty much went along with it. But when COVID hit, everything was a mess. And although I qualified for the advanced round, I didn't go for it because I was under depression. I was still not happy with what I'm doing. I didn't know what to do every time. Like if I'm bored, I didn't know what will make me happy. I didn't know what would encourage people. But wait, encourage people. I don't have a motivation. Many people who I know don't have a motivation. Maybe I could take that up. I started motivating people. First, I motivated myself to do things. And then I realized I was pretty good at it. And then I went on Discord. Many people who are depressed come online and they want some form of validation or someone to speak to. I used to be that person for them. I used to be a shoulder to lean on for them. Zendaya is known for many encomiums. Like many people used to tell she's really good at what she's doing. And I figured, let me also learn something new. And that's why I took motivational strategies. Thank you.
Please stand up. It's a nice book.
So in Toastmasters, we have a rule that whenever someone gives an icebreaker speech, no, you have to stand and clap. So thank you for following. Now, I would like to talk about Toastmaster Alfonso. Hello. Keep quiet. During this spare time, she enjoys sending memes to her friends and reading about different cultures of the world online. Her speech title is Speech High, and she is going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Shivansh. Shivansh, he's a part-time student and full-time pitcher. I would like to call upon Toastmaster Shivansh.
Good evening to everyone, and especially good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Alfonso. So she would be giving her L1 P1 in the pathway team collaboration. And the purpose of the speech is for the members to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. The best of luck, Toastmaster Alfonso, and just be calm. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Toastmaster Alfonso, it's me. Hi, it's me. Hi, Toastmaster Alfonso.
Hello everyone. I'm Anupursa and today I'm going to give my icebreaker. First of all, I want to say that I'm really nervous. It was completely out of my comfort zone. If you ask anyone from my friends group, I'm usually the one who doesn't speak and mostly listens. So, but I'm greatly honored to be part of this community where words are woven into fabric of transformation and growth. So, first of all, okay, so I was born in Kerala, but I spent most of my life here in Bangalore. I studied in Delhi Public School, Bangalore till 10th, and then I studied 11th and 12th in Christ Academy. So in school, I was a very, like, again, I had a very unique name, so I really stood out. But then I didn't really want to stand out. So I would basically be quiet. I would basically be like very quiet and like become a recluse. That was my way of like coping with it. And to the point that sometimes in class, I used to be like the quietest kid. And I've had instances where 2 or 3 of my teachers would like point me out in a group of like 30 to 40 people and say that they should all learn from me because I was so well behaved. And but as you grow up, you realize that you need to open up more. You need to express yourself and that you need to share your ideas. That's one of the reasons why I joined Toastmasters. Also, but my aunt had suggested it to me, and even later on, one of my friends. And one more thing that I recall is my a faculty from my previous semester telling our class that he who controls the narrative controls the world. And that is such a powerful quote, and it beautifully condenses the power of storytelling. And it made me realize that this is something that I want to be good at. And also, if you look at it, it's very essential in our social media driven society. And stories or narratives are basically the essence of human existence. Even author and historian Yuval Noah Harari mentioned in his book *Sapiens: The History of Humankind* that storytelling is a pivotal development of the Homo sapiens species. It's what turned us from like simple groups into like complex civilizations. So also one more thing that I recall is that in first grade we had these hobby classes in my school, and we had to like, it was basically an extra class every Friday, and we had to like select one club out of like many options that they gave us. And I chose to go with the quiz club because that's what my mom wanted me to go do. So I remember the first day when I had to, like, when I went there, they gave us a paper with like a bunch of GK questions. And I remember feeling like, where am I? I don't know anything in this. And I felt so unsettled and embarrassed. But then later on, few years later, like me, me and one other girl from my class got selected for this competition that was being held, which was when I realized that you have to start somewhere. Even if it's a bad start, even if you embarrass yourself, you have to give a shot if you want to do good at something. So that's another reason why I thought, okay, maybe I should go for Toastmasters. Also, so to conclude, in the spirit of storytelling, and I would like to say that words are an essential part of human history, and and also that it's something that is basically the essence of our existence, and my future goals would be to become a better storyteller and become good at leadership. So yeah, thank you.
That was a wonderful speech. Now, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Sharanya. She is someone who wants to express herself more and communicate with many people. The topic is Welcome to my mansion, and the speech evaluator is Toastmaster Vishnu. I would like to call upon Toastmaster Vishnu.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Sharanya Tambi is currently giving her L1 P1 in the Pathways Dynamic Leadership. The purpose of the speech of this project is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Hope your speech will be going to be a great gun. Over to the team.
Toastmaster Sharanya, welcome to my mansion. Welcome to my mansion. Toastmaster Sharanya.
Viraj. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So, where are we right now?
Amrita.
We are in Amrita, we are in the learning hall. I'm Sharanya and I want to take you guys somewhere from here right now. I want to take you guys to my life mansion. And of course, it's imaginary. We go near the life mansion and you can see it's bright orange in color. Peculiar, right, for a house's color. So, orange is my favorite color. And I want to say that orange is a mixture of yellow and red. Yellow signifies brightness and cheerfulness, and red signifies deep passion, and both of them combined form orange. And I think I'm a perfect amalgam of these two qualities. So now we go inside my mansion, and you see that it's a 3 BHK mansion. Wait, it's a 3 BH mansion. There's no K because if there was a kitchen, I'd burn it down in the first day. Each of the rooms are numbered from 1 to 3. And inside these lie pieces of my life. Room number 1, where life was a baby. I was born on 31st March 2004. Now, besides being my birthday, it is also National Cream Cheese Saucing Day, which explains why I'm so sweet, right? It is also National Bunsen Burner Day, which explains why chemistry was the hardest subject in school. And it's also National Data Backup Day, which explains why my Google Drive is always out of storage. So I'm very thankful. As a kid, my parents took hundreds of videos of me, and almost all of them had something in common that my parents and me still laugh about. I was a very picky eater. So one such video had me sitting beside the window and saying the word pra. Pra is basically pigeon in my mother tongue language of Malayalam. And I would gesture it like this. And my mother would say, sing a lyric saying, pigeon, pigeon, come sit by the windowsill. Only if you do will Sharanya eat. Yes, I was a very picky eater. Now, room number 2, my school days. During my school days, I was a very timid and unnoticeable child. I would keep to myself, hang out with 2-3 of my friends, and I'd be the last person to raise my hand for any activity. I used to run away from participation. But there was one day in which I really liked expressing myself. That was arts and crafts. I used to take anything there at home and turn it into something else. I also did canvas painting at a very young age. Because I believe that a lot of people say that they're bad at art, but I think there's no bad or good in art. It's a way of self-expression, and any way of self-expression is beautiful. During school days, I did not have an idea of what I wanted to become when I grew up. But one particular story that my Hindi teacher told me really stood out. It was why she became a teacher. She said that if she taught 2 people and those 2 taught 2 more each, and if this kept on happening, then the amount of individuals you would have educated would be like an insane amount. And on my graduation day, I decided that I wanted to become a professor. Now, we move on to room number 3 of my mansion. My college days, my adult life, presently. During my holidays, after my school days, I decided I wanted to take a BTech in artificial intelligence because of my love in computing. And I decided that maybe I'll get some professional experience in the future and then go on to doing my dream of teaching or being a professor. And I knew one thing, that during my school days, I hadn't expressed myself completely. I wasn't showing the world 100% of who I am. I see it in my shy, introverted self. And I decided I'm going to change that when I come to my college. And that I joined Amrita Bengaluru. Amrita has actually become a home away from home. Even though I'm a day scholar, I spend like 12 hours of the day over here, and it's literally a home away from home. It's literally a home away from home, and I found that I have changed so much since my school days. I have talked to so many peers, I've talked to so many faculty, I've made some amazing friends in my class, and I've taken up a leadership role, like being the CR of my class for the first year and the second year that is going on. I became the executive of a club, and I've also joined Toastmasters with an interest in being better at public speaking. And you know what? Little Sharanya is really shocked and totally bamboozled. I don't think she would have believed that I would have changed so much for the better. And I want to continue being someone my little self can be proud of, and I want to continue being my meaning of the color orange. So this was a tour of my mansion. And please come back to see how many new doors are added into my mansion, because the amount that I can increase and expand this mansion is beyond the stars. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Yeah, Sharanya, we will definitely come back to your mansion someday. Now, Toastmaster Sri Lalita. She's someone who loves reading and eternally has her head in the clouds, turning every situation in life into a dramatic scene from a fairy tale and is unabashedly a grammar Nazi. Her topic for the speech is I am a tree, and she is going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Aditya. He describes himself as the one who needs no introduction. Just call him Lion, and he's ready to roar on the stage. Toastmaster Aditya.
Finally, the end is here. I can still feel the heat of the icebreakers. But anyways, moving on to my target speaker, Toastmaster Sri Lalita, who is pursuing L1 P1 in dynamic leadership. So basically, I read out the objectives. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. So the timer, please note that her time limit is 4 to 6 minutes, and I hope you rock the stage. Over to you.
Toastmaster Sri Lalita. I am a tree. I am a tree. Toastmaster Sri Lalita.
Like the sandy river beach, holds up its topmost boughs, like fingers towards the skies it cannot reach. Earthbound heaven amorous. This is the soul of man, body and brain, hungry for earth, our heavenly flight detained. Don't worry, I will write that. That is the poem, A Tree, written by Lord Sri Aurobindo. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Sri Lalita, and today I stand before you as a 19-year-old adult in progress, suddenly faced with the question, what defines me? Now, while attempting to write this icebreaker and hopefully impress my evaluator enough to let me pass this project, many approaches ran through my head. Maybe I should start by saying I'm a college student embarking on a journey through the realm of electronic engineering. I like delving into circuits, codes, and all things technological, and I find myself fascinated by the symphony of electrons dancing through a circuit, orchestrating the innovation that powers the world. My pursuit of knowledge is a testament to the boundless potential of human intellect. Or maybe I should say, beyond my love for microprocessors and digital logic lies my love for visual magic, dance. The stage becomes the paper and my body the pen as I translate emotions into stories that become too intense for any book to hold. Dance to me is a reminder that life itself is a balance between rhythm and improvisation. No way. What if I spoke about those quiet corners of my world, where you'll find me engrossed in the middle of a captivating story, or maybe trying to pen down one of my own? Because according to me, engineering and writing are very similar. They're both a quest for harmony. It's like hunting for that perfect mix of words, which convey thoughts that resonate so deeply while also managing to sound mellifluous and poetic. Speaking of which, maybe I should drop a subtle hint for you guys to check out my blog, The Vibrant Space. Or maybe I should talk about my passion for public speaking, because isn't that what this club is all about? Which was nourished and cherished by my school and my principal, whom we all fondly call Aditi Auntie. But none of these approaches really seem to justify the purpose of this endeavor that I set out on. And so, like I always do before I start writing anything, I decided to look back on all the memories that I had accumulated from my alma mater, Sri Aurobindo Memorial School. I found this poem, which happens to be my principal's favorite. And that's when it hit me. I'm a tree. I'm a tree beside the sandy river beach, rooted in my foundations of science and logic. Just like how a tree's roots go deep into the soil to derive nourishment, my pursuit of knowledge in electronic engineering give me the tools to explore, to create and innovate and keep me rooted in a world of technical understanding. And just like how the tree stretches out its branches, I stretch out fingers towards the sky that's supposedly impossible to reach, especially for my tiny body. Through my love for dancing, reading, and writing. Dancing allows me to transcend the limitations of the physical world, allowing me to express emotions, stories, and dreams through fluid movements. Reading and writing, on the other hand, allow me to touch the intangible heavens of the mind, to explore different worlds, to reflect, and to dream. Now, this balance between rooted pursuits and my love for creative things, to me, is what defines the essence of what it means to be human. Our bodies and brains are rooted in the material world, and they tend to focus on what we can accomplish here. But our inner selves strives for something higher. It wants us to express ourselves beyond what's possible in the physical world. And this balance is pretty hard to achieve, but it's what motivates me to learn technical things and still continue to nurture my creativity. And this beautiful interplay between grounded pursuits and skyward dreams is what defines who I am. A young woman embracing the complexity of her multidimensional identity. Thank you.
That was very impressive, Sri Lalita. Now, timer, can we take a break for 5 minutes? I think everyone needs some break. Okay, so 5 minute break.
अभी रिकॉर्डिंग कहाँ से बंद कर?
Muted.
Recording, you started it now.
Hey, it's all.